Hello, everyone, and welcome to Historic Dunfield. I'm Robbie Knopf, and you are listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network, with the Pioneers just a few minutes away from taking on the Utica Brewers in this perfect game Collegiate Baseball League matchup. It's 7:01, so we're just 4 minutes away from the scheduled start time, although in baseball, maybe not quite as strict with that as they might be in other sports. Wouldn't be surprising if we actually got going at 7:07 or 7:08, but that's of no matter to all the fans at Dunfield, and I'm sure all you listeners out there. In any event, the Pioneers really have not taken the field in quite a while. Yesterday, they were rained out against the Watertown Rams. The day before, they had an off day, so we really have to go back 3 days to the last time that they played. At the same time, though, this is a team that really has been playing some very good baseball. They entered this contest at 10-6, just half the game back of the Newark Pilots in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League West Division. And taking the mound for the Pioneers tonight is going to be right-hander Taylor Ahern out of Siena, making his third start, and his last outing was really something quite special. The first inning was a total disaster, and it really was not entirely his fault. In that first inning, the Pioneers made 3 consecutive errors behind him, and the result of that was 4 unearned runs, putting the Pioneers in a 4-1 hole at the time. But then the rest of his outing, Ahern tossed shutout ball. He got help from an outfield assist by Nick Walker in that second inning. And from there, he retired 11 in a row to end his game. And that 11 in a row actually started a streak of 21 consecutive Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs retired by Pioneers pitching, or the equivalent of 7 perfect innings. So quite a job by Ahern there after that rocky start that his defense really caused. And in this game, we'll hope to have an outing that's really outstanding all the way through, like he's capable of doing. Ahern coming off a freshman season at Siena, where he really did some special things. For instance, he tossed 5 1/3 innings of 1-run ball to help Siena clinch the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, or MAC, with the extra A in there. So a freshman on the mound to clinch the conference championship, and Ahern able to pull it off. Siena actually overcame an 0-17 start to win the MAC championship, the MAC conference MAC tournament championship. I was looking for some word there, and I finally found it. And he is a guy capable of pitching under pressure. We've already seen that in his limited time for the Pioneers, and he certainly showcased that at Siena. So it'll be exciting to see him making another start. Last time he went was back on June 18th, so going on quite a bit of rest, 7 days to be exact, but going to hope to come out to the mound firing and deliver the Pioneers yet another win. With a Pioneers win and a Newark loss, the Pioneers would retake first place in the division. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, it will be lineups, first pitch, and baseball here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back here from historic Dunfield as the national anthem was just played, and the Pioneers fielders are getting ready to warm up and start this ball game with Taylor Ahern just about ready to start his warm-up pitches to capture Jordan Taylor. And let's quickly go through the lineups. First for your Elmira Pioneers. Leading off is the right fielder number 7, Chris Kalustian. In center field is number 6, T.J. Dixon. Batting third is the shortstop number 4, Nick Walker. Batting cleanup is the first baseman number 10, Christian Santisteban. Then we see the designated hitter, number 44, Zach Bellinger. The third baseman, number 5, Taylor Hilson. At the 7th spot is the left fielder, number 24, Joe Guarana. Batting 8th is the catcher, number 26, Jordan Taylor, who we just quickly mentioned. And batting 9th is the second baseman, number 2, Taylor Skirpon, with the pitcher being right-hander number 9, Taylor Ahern. And now for the visiting Utica Brewers, who enter the game with just a 2-15 mark, really have had a rough season so far and now looking to turn that around. Leadoff hitter is number 20, the center fielder, Cedric Mullins. Batting second is the left fielder number 2, Joe Daru. Batting third is the right fielder number 10, Cody Burden. Batting cleanup is the third baseman number 2, Anthony Villa, or Villa, as well. Have to see where he's from. Batting fifth is the catcher number 33, Marcelo Sanchez. And the next hitter, and the fifth overall in the order, the sixth in the order, is going to be the first baseman, number 34, Hayden Kelly. Batting seventh is the shortstop, number 11, John Jennings. Batting eighth is the designated hitter, number 21, Corey Larish. And batting ninth is the second baseman, number 6, and his name is Neovel Ruiz Diaz. And on the mound is actually a funny story about this Utica Brewers squad. We had someone from the press box go to get their lineup, and he came back with the entire lineup card, except for there was one thing missing, and that was the pitcher for Utica. So it's going to be interesting to see who Utica decides to send out there, and how prepared the Pioneers are for whoever he is. And now Ahern is set, and the leadoff hitter once again for these Utica Brewers is number 20, Cedric Mullins. Funny thing about Utica is that they're the only team in this league with a major league name, and they actually, you look at their cream-colored jerseys, and they are quite reminiscent of those real Milwaukee Brewers. And here's a pitch from Ahern, and it will miss outside, and we are underway here from Dunfield. Ahern set again, working quickly, and here is the 1-0, and that one will bounce in there for ball 2. Ahern in previous outings really stood out for his curveball, but over there maybe overthrew it a bit and bounced it, and Jordan Taylor quickly out to the mound. Ahern only behind 2-0 to begin this game, but certainly, especially if you find some kind of mechanical flaw, you just want to adjust that as soon as possible and get back to throwing strikes. With a quick look at the statistics, Ahern entering this game with an 0-1 record, but a 2 ERA, as he's allowed 6 runs, only 2 earned, on 10 hits in 9 innings, striking out 7 while walking 3. Really has looked good for the Pioneers, but now behind in the count 3-0. And there's ball 4, that fastball with some late movement down, and in the umpire's view, that one just went down and right out of the strike zone. And up to the plate for Utica is the left fielder, Joe Daru. And interesting that he's at the top of the lineup because he's gone off to a rough start, hitting .226, 7 for 31 so far in this perfect game Collegiate Baseball League season. Ahern dealing with the runner on first after the 4-pitch walk to open the game. And that one is up, so make it 5 in a row, and in comes Taylor Hilson, Taylor to try to settle down his friend and Pioneers right-hander Taylor Ahern. And if you're the Brewers, the approach almost has to be don't swing until you see a strike, because 5 in a row wide, you'll take advantage of that all day. But no, as Daru hits a long fly ball to center, but TJ Dixon is there, and he makes the catch, and there's out number 1. Aaron finally delivers a strike, and it was not his finest pitch. It was really right down the middle, about waist high, but the batter Daru just getting under it enough, and Dixon able to track it down. This is a pretty big ballpark, and you have a center fielder in Dixon with excellent speed and does a nice job ranging quite far in the outfield, so turns into the out. The power of pitching to contact. And now up to the plate for these Utica Brewers is Cody Burden. And first a pickoff throw to first base, and Mullins back quite easily. Mullins is a real threat to go. He is 11 for 11 in stolen base attempts. Here is the pitch from Ahern, and it will not be made as he throws to first once again. When you have a base stealer as accomplished as Mullins, you really want to pay attention to him, make sure he knows that he can't just lead off of you without fear of the pickoff move. He goes. Throw from Jordan Taylor will be not in time. So there is stolen base number 10. What am I saying? Stolen base number 12 for Cedric Mullins. And suddenly the Brewers have a runner in scoring position with only 1 out here in the top of the first. And here's the windup and the pitch, and that one will be up. So the count now 2-0 on Cody Burden. And aside from that fly ball to center that Dixon was able to track down, Aaron still has not delivered a strike in this game. 2-0 will catch the corner, so there's the first called strike of the game by Taylor Ahern as he hopes to settle down and build on the way his last outing finished. Ahern set, and here's the pitch. Hits the outside corner again. Nice fastball moving away from the right-handed hitting Burden. And a count now 2-2. And Ahern set, and he delivers. Looked like a little bit of an off-speed pitch there, but unable to get much on it, so the count will go full. Ahern in danger of walking his second batter of the inning as we play here in the top of the first. And the pitch, swung it on and missed. Excellent pitch by Ahern. May have even taken something off of that. A 3-2 changeup, and looked like a fastball out of the hand, and the hitter, Burden, who entered the at-bat as Utica's leading batsman, goes down on strikes for a big out number 2. You look at Ahern, and he's a freshman, but like we've talked about already, he knows how to pitch around adversity. He knows how to pitch around adversity, and that's always big. Guys are going to get on base no matter what you do, whether it's hits or walks or errors, and you have to find a way to pitch around them. You can blame the external factors all you want, but you have to be on the mound and find a way to deliver good pitches. And here's the 0-1, and there's a strike. And Ahern maybe finally finding himself in the last few pitches. First the strikeout, and now ahead in the count 0-2 on Anthony Villa. And that one is a soft ground ball fielded by Ahern. Throws the first in time, and it will be a shutout first for Taylor Ahern after not exactly the start he was hoping for, as the Utica Brewers will strand a runner on second without the benefit of a hit. We'll take a quick break, and at the end of the top of the first, the Utica Brewers nothing, and the Elmira Pioneers set to come to bat for the first time in this game. You're listening to the Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network, as we do finally know who the pitcher is for these Utica Brewers. It will be left-hander Marcos Martinez. He is 6'0" and 200 pounds, out of Citrus in California, and he's a sophomore. And Martinez, a rough first start, as he allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 7 hits in 5 innings, good for a 7.20 ERA. However, he did strike out 4 while walking only 2, so you always wonder, maybe a little bit of bad luck, and you have a pitcher who is better than those results would indicate. So we'll have to see what Martinez will bring to the table as the Pioneers are set to take their hacks against them in just a few moments. Martinez warming up to the Utica catcher, Marcelo Sanchez. And in that top of the first, looked like Utica was going to have a great chance. Taylor Ahern really all over the place, struggling to throw strikes. His first 5 pitches were out of the zone, and even 7 of his first 8, but managed to overcome it. And now, instead of having maybe a 1-run cushion or a little bit more, Martinez will head to the mound for the first inning of work in a tie game. And coming to the plate for the Pioneers is the leading hitter from last season, and a force for them once again in 2014. That's Chris Kaluzian, the right fielder. Kaluzian entering the game at .317 with 2 homers and 9 RBIs. The 2 homers tied for the team lead, while the RBIs put him tied for third. And here's the first pitch from the lefty Marcos Martinez. And there's a strike. In the umpire's view, it caught the outside corner, and Kaluzian behind in a count 0-1. You look at the lefty Martinez on the mound, and he delivers his 0-1, and it is a strike on a slow breaking pitch. And Kaluzian is a right-handed hitter, but then you have Dixon, a left-handed batter, and then you have a run of lefties later on in the lineup. That one, another breaking ball, that one bounces, so count 1-2. From 4 to 5, you have Santisteban and Bellinger. Garana, another lefty hitter. So the Pioneers with 4 lefty hitters in the lineup against the left-handed pitcher, Marcos Martinez. The 1-2 is smacked into center. Is it playable? Yes, it is, as Cedric Mullins tracks it down for the first out of the game. Really was not hit overly hard by Chris Kaluzian, and maybe even hit it a little bit too hard, unable to find some grass, as Mullins able to track it down. So 1 away, and here's T.J. Dixon, who faces a lefty-lefty matchup for at least his first couple at-bats of this game. Dixon entering the game at .349, second on the Pioneers to the batter after him, Nick Walker. Dixon has really done a lot of things well for this team. Combined at 3.9 average with a team-leading 8 stolen bases and excellent defense in center field. And we saw a little bit of that in the first inning. Ahern was really in trouble, but he got Joe Daru to hit a fly ball to center, and Dixon running extremely well to his right and a little bit back to make the catch. Really made the play look easy when another center fielder could have had a tougher time. So 1-1 is going to be a curveball that hits Dixon. Didn't appear to hit him too hard, and for Dixon, that's just a free base. He'll certainly take it. And here's a little bit of a curiosity. He's now been hit by 4 pitches this season. Christian Santisteban has been hit 3 times, and no one else in the entire lineup has been hit more than once. Maybe you wonder if it's a case of a hitter really standing close to the plate and being a little bit more susceptible to pitches like that. Here is the aforementioned Walker, playing shortstop tonight. And here's the first pitch from Martinez, and there's a strike. Martinez with the fastball that had some nice down and in movement to Walker, and it freezes him for strike 1. Martinez set again, and here he comes. He throws the high fastball, and Walker will chase it for strike 2. Walker, decent plate discipline, enters the game with 10 walks against only 9 strikeouts, but chased one there and is behind in the count because of it. There's a pickoff play to first base, but Dixon able to slide in just ahead of the tag from first baseman Hayden Kelly. So count 0-2 on Walker as Dixon leads off first base. He saw his center field counterpart, Cedric Mullins, steal second in the top of the first. And the pitch is a foul tip held onto by the catcher Marcelo Sanchez, and that will be a strikeout. And 2 away in the bottom of the first, and here is Christian Santisteban. Santisteban entering the at-bat at 3:09 with 2 homers and 13 runs batted in. The 2 homers are tied for first on the team. The 13 RBIs place him in a category of his own. Another one of these great plate discipline players for the Pioneers, especially as a guy with power, as he's also walked 10 times against 9 strikeouts. Although for Walker, now that's evened up at 10 walks and 10 strikeouts, so what can you do? He'll hope to rectify that in future at-bats, or shall I say plate appearances, because a walk is not an at-bat in baseball, one of those quirky rules. As you look at the pickoff throw from Marcos Martinez, and really, he was quite quick there, but the throw was not very good. And here's the first pitch of Santisteban. There goes Dixon. The throw, and he is going to be out, and that will do it here in the bottom of the first. Dixon caught for the 3rd time attempting to steal a base, and the Pioneers will not score in the bottom of the first. So at the end of 1, it is the Elmira Pioneers nothing, and the Utica Brewers with the same. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. We'll take a break. Hi everyone, and we are back here in the top of the 2nd inning on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network, and we're coming to you live from Elmira, New York, at a ballpark in Dunn Field that has been around for quite some time, since 1939. Some real greats of the game of baseball have played here, like Wade Boggs, Don Zimmer, Kurt Schilling, to name a few. And the Pioneers and Brewers hoping to create another chapter in that illustrious history as we begin the top of the 2nd. Leading off for the Brewers will be the catcher number 33, Marcelo Sanchez. And for Sanchez, if you're a catcher good enough to bat 5th, that's certainly a big asset for your team. First pitch will be low for ball 1, so Ahern just a little bit out of sync once again as we begin the top of the 2nd. And he's set for the 1-0. And that one will miss down and away. And Ahern really getting some nice movement on his fastball, but maybe almost too much movement. You would rather have maybe a little bit of a straighter fastball if it helped you throw strikes. And that one will miss inside, and for the 2nd straight inning, Ahern begins the frame with straight out of the zone. And behind 3-0 in a count against catcher Marcelo Sanchez. And there's a strike. Ahern, the rising sophomore right-hander out of Siena, originally really one of the few Pioneers players who hails from the West Coast. His hometown is in California. And there's a ground ball to second base. Skirpon delivers to Santisteban for out number 1. To be exact, Ahern, originally out of Santee, California, took a moment to find him on the roster because he's actually listed as an outfielder. My buddy is in the Pioneers media relations department, maybe messing with me a little bit, but at the same time, Ahern did play some outfield this season for Siena, even though his biggest moments were on the mound. That one missed it high, and the count now 1-0. And here's the pitch from Ahern, and there's a lazy fly ball to left field. Garana is there, he'll make the catch, and they're now 2 away. And you look at Ahern, and he is really still trying to find himself. Unable to maybe get that consistent release point, and he's not missing by all that much on most of these pitches, but seems to be missing in the same spots. He's missed quite a few times down and away, a couple of times in, a couple of times up. So not totally wild, but wild enough to be behind in some counts. But there, he gets the first pitch strike to the hitter for the Brewers, and that's shortstop John Jennings. Ahern delivers again, and that one, a pitch we've seen a few times, the fastball brushing the hitter off inside. And count 1-1, Ahern delivers, and there's a strike. Nice job by Ahern getting that late movement, but maybe starting it a little bit more on the plate to make sure it hits the corner. The count 1-2, trying to put him away. Down will miss up. Jennings entering the at-bat. And she's only hitting 156 on the season, so really a rough start. Trying to exchange that. And he hits a looper that hits off the foul line, but apparently it's called a foul ball. Even though it hit fair, the question is it fair when it gets to the first base bag? And in that case, apparently it wasn't. Pioneers thought they may have had the final out of the inning, but instead, Ahern will have to deal a 2-2 offering to shortstop John Jennings. And here's the pitch. Fastball just misses outside, so the count now 3-2. Ahern hoping to complete a 1-2-3 inning after a little bit of inconsistency. And he throws the fastball up, and Jennings will wave at it and come up empty. And that will be the end of the second inning. So Ahern, since he allowed that one-out walk, has now retired 5 in a row. And worth reminding everyone that Ahern retired 11 in a row to finish his last outing. So already nearly halfway there, as he has 5 consecutive batters retired since there was 1 out in the first inning. Actually, in fact, he allows the leadoff walk, retires the next 3 batters, so it's even 6 in a row. So you're not going to see a perfect game here by Ahern tonight, but 6 consecutive batters after that leadoff walk is really quite impressive. In any event, we have a request to hear the defensive alignment for the Pioneers, so let's go over that one more time. So from left to right in the outfield is Joe Garana, T.J. Dixon, and Chris Kalustian. The infield third to first is Taylor Hilson, Nick Walker at short, Taylor Skirpon at second base, and Christian Santisteban at first. The designated hitter is Zach Bellinger, and on the mound is Taylor Ahern. And might as well do it for the Utica Brewers, just to even it all out. From left to right, in the outfield, they are Joe Daru, Cedric Mullins, and Cody Burden. And on the infield, meanwhile, they are Anthony Villa, John Jennings, Neovel Ruiz-Diaz, and Hayden Kelly. And Cody Larish is the DH, and on the mound is lefty Marcos Martinez. And Martinez getting set to begin the bottom of the first, and up to the plate again is Christian Santisteban. And here's the first pitch again, and there is a pop fly right side of the infield. Second baseman is there, and he will make the catch. Put out made by Ruiz Diaz, and that will be out number 1. Santisteban was up to the plate again because he was the guy in the batter's box when Dixon was caught stealing. And when you have a caught stealing or an at-bat ends in any other way without the batter having any sort of result, the batter gets to come back up again. So Santisteban with a second chance, a new leash on life, but new lease on life, not the SH sound there, but unable to take advantage as he pops out. Here is Zach Bellinger for his first at-bat of the game, and the first pitch is fouled back. Here is the 0-1 to the Elmira Heights product. There's a changeup, and it is drilled down the right field line, but Bellinger fooled just enough by the change of speeds from the lefty Martinez, and all he gets out of it is a foul ball for strike 2. Bellinger, the designated hitter for the Pioneers tonight. He's also played quite a bit of first base, switching off with Santisteban. And there's a ground ball to first. Martinez tries to cover, and Bellinger went into a slide, but he is retired at first base as the lefty Martinez got there just in time. So there's out number 2. Nice hustle by Bellinger. Really not a fast player. He's a little bit of a bigger guy at 6'2", 215, but he was giving his all right there and really forced the Brewers to make a nice play to retire him. Here is Taylor Hilson, the third baseman for the Pioneers for every game but one this season. And that one will be a strike. Martinez getting some two-seam movement at the end there to get that pitch past Hilson. And there is a breaking ball, but really not much movement there at all. You see the little looping action, but you don't see that big depth that you want to go along with it. And that pitch is a fastball missing up. And Martinez, you have to like the late movement on his fastball. Seems to move in towards right-handed batters at the last possible second. And there's a line drive and a base hit for Taylor Hilson, taking advantage of a fastball that was left up by Martinez. And there is the first hit of the game for either team off the bat of Hilson. And you look at Hilson, and he's batting in the number 6 spot in the Pioneers order, and it has been a steady climb for him. He began the season batting 9th for basically every game. And then he just kept hitting and hitting until Pioneers manager Matt Birch decided that he had seen enough to keep moving him up. And the first pitch to Joe Guarana is a strike. Guarana has really shown a solid plate approach. He has 4 walks, which is pretty respectable, but not much good results when he has put the ball in play, as he's hitting only 121. And the pitch is swung on and missed. The lefty Martinez blowing it right by fellow lefty Joe Guarana, at least in terms of the way he bats. And a count now 0-2 with 2 outs, and Taylor Hilson leading off first base, hoping that somehow he will be the first run of the game. So Martinez still discussing with the catcher, and now he's finally set, but a little bit too late for Joe Guarana's liking as he steps out of the batter's box. And if you're a hitter, you don't want to let the pitcher dictate the pace of the game, and Guarana maybe upsetting fans a little bit, but now a little bit more of an even ground in terms of the pace of the game between the pitcher and the hitter. And that one is swung and a miss for strike 3. Doesn't matter what the pace is when you can deliver solid pitches, and nice job by Martinez there, expanding the zone and getting Guarana to swing at the fastball up. So that'll do it here in the bottom of the second inning. And after 2, there is no score between the Elmira Pioneers and the Utica Brewers. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back here in the top of the third inning with the Pioneers getting the game's first hit in the last half frame, but unable to make anything of it, as it is still 0-0 entering the third. Taylor Ahern has retired 6 in a row since allowing a leadoff walk and a stolen base to begin the game. There's a strike. And for Ahern, the issue so far has really been finding that strike zone. He's had some good movement on his pitches, shown a couple good off-speed offerings, but has not always been around his zone. And there is a good example there as he bounces the breaking ball, and the count now 1-1. So Ahern off to a pretty good start, and he's going to need to throw more strikes to continue that. The hitter for Utica is number 24, and that's Corey Lirish. That's a designated hitter. Of course, I had him down with the wrong number, leaving me to scramble a little bit, but he is number 24. And here's the pitch from Ahern, hoping to put him away, but unable to do so right there, as Lirish fouling that pitch off, and the count remains 2-2. For the Pioneers, they really have gotten some tremendous starting pitching, from Sam Sinnen and Bryson Ho to Roberto Supa, and there's a ground ball to third base. Hilson throws across for the out, so make it 7 in a row retired by Ahern, as there's one out here in the top of the third. And if you're joining us late and just counted that 7 in a row is 2 1/3 innings, exactly like Ahern has pitched. Ahern did allow a leadoff walk, so has not quite been perfect, but has been really quite good so far. First pitch is another ground ball at third base. Hilson with less time, but he's able to throw across, and a nice job by Santisaban staying on the bag, as there's out number 2. And now, for the Brewers, they will finally get their ninth hitter up to the plate, and that is Neovel Ruiz Diaz. And Diaz, 6'0" and 186 pounds, and he's out of Greensboro Community College, where he just finished his sophomore year. First pitch to him is a ball. And for Ruiz Diaz, this is a pretty big moment. He's appearing in only his 5th game for the Brewers, trying to prove that he's a legitimate starting option, as he hits a bloop down the left field line. And Joe Garana is there. He makes the catch. And that'll do it here in the top of the third. So Ahern really doing a great job settling down. Certainly has not been overpowering like he was in his last game, when he managed to come away with 5 strikeouts in 5 innings of work, but doing a nice job pitching to contact and really forcing some very weak fly balls or ground balls, getting some nice movement on his pitches and getting good results because of that. And now the Pioneers offense has a very simple task, and that's going to be to score him some runs. In the bottom of the second, they finally got something going as they got their first hit. And they also had a base runner in the first inning, although T.J. Dixon was erased on a caught stealing to end the frame. And this lefty, Marcos Martinez, certainly has not been overpowering, but he's done a nice job changing speeds, mixing in a few breaking balls, and maybe a changeup or two to go along with his fastball. And he will hope to match Taylor Ahern 0 for 0 in a game that looks like a little bit of a pitcher's duel moving forward, at least in the early going. And this is the type of game that Utica needs to win if they're going to have a chance. The Pioneers, with the more highly touted offense, the Brewers really struggling quite mightily at times to score runs. And look at the amount of runs scored. You have the Pioneers with 93 runs scored against 83 runs allowed. The Brewers, meanwhile, 60 runs scored, 114 runs allowed, which is pretty alarming. But a good starting pitcher can make even the worst team beat the best team. And that's what Martinez will hope to give the Utica Brewers tonight, as Jordan Taylor digs in to start the bottom of the third inning. Taylor, the catcher for the Pioneers out of Radford, splitting time with Drew Fisher. And that one is a breaking ball missing up. Now we've seen that a few too many times from Martinez. A breaking ball where you can recognize it relatively easily out of the hand, but doesn't get the movement that he's hoping for. And there's a bloop into right center field, and it will be tracked down by the center fielder Mullins. So there's the first out of the inning. Taylor getting ahead in the count and delivering a nice swing, but nothing to show for it as he has hit it a little bit too close to center field, and Mullins was able to track it down. And here's Taylor Skirvon. Really has been a little bit of a surprise for the Pioneers this season. A late addition, he's hitting .303. And the last time that Taylor Ahern was on the mound, Skirvon unloaded for what is thus far his only home run of the 2014 season, and what a big home run it was. After those errors put Ahern behind 4-1, Skirvon tied the game on one swing, a 3-run home run. And now, as he faces Martinez, an even count 1-1. Skirvon hoping to come up big for the Pioneers right-hander once again. And there's a breaking ball, and that was the type of offering that Martinez will hope to show more of, as they got really nice break from Skirvon's shoulders almost down to his knees. But there's a fastball left over the plate, and Skirvon with a single to left center, and he makes a big turn around first base, but decides to hold on. So there's the Pioneers' second hit. They now have gotten a base runner in every inning. And now, after seeing Martinez one time through the order, they are finally set to see him that second time as Chris Kaluzian comes up to the plate. Kaluzian, the Pioneers' leadoff man and right fielder for all but one of their games this season. And here is the first pitch from Martinez as he gives Skirvon a long look, and looks like that pitch won't count as Kaluzian got tired of waiting and stepped out of the batter's box. Could have been ball one, or you never know. If time wasn't called, that could have been a much better pitch from the lefty Martinez. So, no point playing the what-if game, as there's the pick-off throw to first base, and Skirvon back relatively easily. Skirvon really doing an excellent job on stolen bases so far this year. His 7 bases and 8 attempts are the best success percentage on the Pioneers for any player with a minimum of 4 attempts. as Calusian fouls that one. First base side out of play, and the count now 0-1. Calusian back with the Pioneers out of Manhattan College, where he just finished his junior year, so really one of the more veteran guys on the Pio squad, and they're happy to have him. Excellent hitter at the top of the order, and also a cannon for an arm in right field. You've already seen him show it off on a couple of occasions for big outfield assists. So 0-1, Calusian behind an account to the lefty Marcos Martinez. Calusian with the platoon advantage and trying to make it count. And here's the 0-1, and there's a pop fly in the short left field. Out to get it is Joe Daru, and he makes the catch, and there's out number 2. Skirpon retreating to first base. As T.J. Dixon comes up to the plate for his second plate appearance and first at-bat after getting hit by a pitch in the top of the first. In the bottom of the first, I should say. And sorry if I said he walked before. It was a hit by pitch on a curveball by Martinez. And lefty to lefty, Martinez to Dixon. First a pickoff throw, and Skirpon back in time. And you look at Martinez, he's shown very quick feet, but the throws he has delivered to first base just have not gone there quick enough, maybe a little bit too loopy of a throw. And Skirpon able to get back in time, as there's a strike. And you look at Skirpon at first base. Maybe you can see him in the very corner of your screen. As the pitch was coming, he actually took a step back towards first base. Martinez deked him into thinking that he was going to throw over again, and Skirpon with a worse secondary lead because of that. And there is the throw to first base. And Skirpon gets back in standing up, mostly because his lead wasn't all that big to begin with. And now, maybe extending it a little bit more. We'll have to see if he goes here on the 0-1 to T.J. Dixon. He does, and the pitch is swung on and missed, and Skirpon will steal second base relatively easily, given 8 stolen bases and 9 attempts overall in the year. And with Dixon at the plate, Skirpon has now tied the Pioneers center fielder Dixon for the team lead with 8 stolen bases. And really impressive by Skirpon because he has just gotten much less playing time. Entered the game with only 33 at-bats to Dixon's 63. So only half the at-bats, but a great job making the most of them, especially on the base path. As the count now 1-2, Martinez trying to use the strategy that worked against Joe Guarana as he threw the fastball up, but Dixon showing the discipline not to swing at it, and he is still alive in his count with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs here in the bottom of the third in a scoreless game. The 1-2 is waved at and missed by T.J. Dixon, so we will have a scoreless game through 3 innings. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network, as we'll be back for the top of the 4th when we return. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Historic Dunn Field, as the Elmira Pioneers and the Utica Brewers are knotted at no runs apiece as we enter the top of the fourth. Here's the first pitch from the righty Ahern, and he will miss outside for ball one. Ahern, the rising sophomore out of Siena, and he has looked very good tonight after some early control issues, as that pitch is foul tipped at home plate by the left fielder Joe Daru. Daru started a streak of 9 consecutive batters retired by Ahern in his last at-bat when he drilled a long fly ball to left center field that TJ Dixon was able to track down. And the pitch, not sure where it missed, but the umpire said that it did. And the count now 2-1. And Daru really showing some pop in that last at-bat. Does not have a homer yet this season, but maybe the potential is there if he can get one that he can handle. He does have a pair of doubles among his 7 hits. And now ahead in the count 3-1. Ahern deals, and there is a pop fly third base side, and Taylor Hilson is there. He will make the catch, and there's out number 1. Ahern, I keep calling him that he's pitching sharp or that he has looked good early on, and it's really been interesting for him because his control really has not been there. I'd love to see his ball to strike breakdown, and it seemed like it would be pretty even, maybe even a ball or two more than he has thrown strikes after the rough start. But a great job coming back in counts as he gets a 3-1 pop out there. There's a line drive to left, and there will be the first hit of the game for the Utica Brewers off the bat of their leading hitter on the season, Cody Burden. So there will not be a no-hitter here at Dunn Field tonight, but Ahern still has looked very good so far. That ended a streak of 10 batters in a row, just one short of the 11 in a row that he retired in his last game back on June 18th against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. And now he hits Anthony Villa and making runners on first and second for the Brewers in what is really their biggest threat of the game, first and second with 1 out. First time that they have multiple base runners on in this contest, and it's up to Ahern to settle down after the hard single and now the hit batsman. And here's the catcher, Marcelo Sanchez. Nice job behind the plate for the Brewers so far. And now trying to do something at the plate. There's the fastball up, and it is swung on and missed. And the ball actually got away from Jordan Taylor, but the Brewers caught napping and unable to advance. Maybe a little debatable over whether it got away far enough from him, but if you have a big secondary lead, then maybe you steal a base and eliminate the double play possibility for the Pioneers. Here's the 0-1, and that is right on the corner for strike 2. Ahern coming back with a pair of strikes here and hoping to put away Sanchez and toss up another 0 on the scoreboard. Here's the 0-2. Fastball just missed outside, so the count 1-2. Ahern seemingly having a heavy fastball approach so far. Love to see how he mixes in his secondary pitches as the game goes on. And here's the 1-2 pitch, but first, a pickoff play back to second base, and Taylor Skirbaum thought for a moment that he may have gone Burden, but to no avail as the umpire calls him safe. Probably the right call. Skirbaum almost getting between him and the bag after that throw a little bit wide from Ahern to second base. Runner goes, and there's not even going to be a throw, as that will be a stolen base for Cody Burden. That's stolen base number 7 on the season for him, which ranks second on this Brewers team. You look at Cedric Mullins with 11 stolen bases, Cody Burden with now 7. Excuse me. Mullins now with 12 after his steal in this game. Burden with 7 steals in 9 attempts. And no other player for these Brewers has even 5. And there's a ground ball to second base, and it will be past the diving Taylor Skirpon and into right field. Scoring easily is Burden, and that is going to be an RBI single for their catcher Sanchez, as the Brewers have taken a 1-0 lead. So you look at Ahern and gets into a little bit of trouble, allows the walk and the hit batsman, and he pays for it as there's the RBI single. That ball really not hit very hard by Sanchez, but just hit it in the perfect spot between first and second base. A situation where having Christian Santisteban holding on the runner maybe costs you a chance at getting that ground ball, but as a hitter, you see that hole and you try to exploit it, and a great job by Sanchez doing exactly that. And here's the 0-1 from Ahern to Kelly. Excuse me, Ahern, yeah. And I'm a little bit confused here because it must have been one batter off. That was Kelly with the RBI single, and now here's Jennings. And the 1-1 pitch is outside corner for strike 2. So that was Kelly with a nice piece of hitting after Sanchez went down. And count 1-2 to shortstop John Jennings. And the windup by Ahern and the pitch. Breaking ball misses well down and away. A nice job blocking the ball by Jordan Taylor. And count now 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. The Brewers have scored to take a 1-0 lead on the Pioneers, and Ahern trying to keep it that way. And here's the pitch. Fastball well down and away. Not even the thought of a swing by John Jennings, and the count now 3-2. So a payoff pitch here in the top of the 4th, and Ahern certainly does not want to load the bases, so expect a strike. And Ahern does deliver one on the outer part of the plate, but Jennings able to foul it back. So we'll do this all again. Both runners on base will be going. And those runners are Anthony Villa from second base, and Hayden Kelly, who had the RBI single, and he's on first base. And here's the windup, and it's a pop fly, foul territory, and it will be caught by Christian Santisteban. So Ahern able to limit the damage. At the end of 3.5 innings from historic Dunn Field, it is the Utica Brewers 1 and the Elmira Pioneers 0. You're listening to the Pioneers Broadcast Network. We'll be back in a minute. Hi everyone, and we just had some volume issues right there. Count now 1-1. Nick Walker facing the lefty Marcos Martinez, and he hits a high fly ball to left. And settling under it will be Joe Daru, and there's out number 1. And if you're Marcos Martinez, you've looked very good so far. He's allowed a base runner in every inning, at least in the first 3. It was a T.J. Dixon hit batsman in the first, a single by Taylor Hilson in the second, and another single by Taylor Skirpon in the third, but he has stranded all of them. And that's the difference in the game as he leads 1-0. A big hit for the Utica Brewers in the top of the 4th, and that was a 2-out RBI single by the first baseman Hayden Kelly. And here is Christian Santisteban with 1 out, and he swings and hits a foul tip right at home plate. And the catcher Sanchez went to field it, but pretty easily in foul territory. Count 0-1 to the Pioneers' first baseman Santisteban, who is arguably their best power hitter, and if anyone on his Pioneers team has the ability to tie this game in one swing, it is certainly him. Here's the 0-1. He takes the big hack, but Martinez going up in the zone and getting him to swing and miss. Count now 0-2. And Martinez ready, and here comes the lefty-to-lefty delivery, and that one, fastball moving away from Santisteban, the four-seam fastball, and not quite enough to entice Santisteban to swing, but it could set up another fastball up in his zone. And that is exactly what the pitcher Martinez decided to come with, but he made it up and a little bit away, and Santisteban able to extend his hands and foul that one off, so the count still 1-2. And Marcos Martinez deals breaking ball, and that will miss down and away. Actually, not quite down, maybe just away. You're used to breaking balls missing down, even in the dirt, but Martinez has really left it up the entire game, but hasn't cost him yet. Here's a 2-2, and there's a line drive into center, and there will be a base hit for Christian Santisteban. So the Pioneers will have the tying run at first base, with some pretty good hitters due up. First, Zach Bellinger, and then Taylor Hilson. Santisteban getting a fastball up, but not quite up enough, as it was around waist high, and he did a nice job not trying to do too much with it, really just hitting a line drive to right center that dropped in front of Cedric Mullins for the third hit for these Pioneers. They've out-hit the Brewers 3-2, but the Brewers with a better job seizing their opportunities thus far. Here is Zach Bellinger. And there's a fly ball into left field. It's playable for Joe Daru, and he will make the catch as Christian Santisteban went halfway, but will now retreat back to first base. So 2 outs, and Marcos Martinez 1 out away from finishing 4 innings with his team ahead 1-0. Trying to stop him will be Taylor Hilson, who singled in his first at-bat. Hilson finishing off a strong freshman season at Mansfield. Actually hit .336, which was second on the team. And he's also in his second go-around with the Pioneers. So you wonder whether that first stint with the team helped spur his success for the Mountaineers. And that was a beautiful breaking ball, and it was a foul tip by Taylor Hilson. That was the first real dominant breaker that we've seen by Martinez all day. Really some excellent late break at the late break, and about as late break as you'll ever see, as it looked like it was going to be a pretty hittable pitch until it dove down in the zone, and Hilson swung and missed at the pitch and wondered what just happened. We've seen a lot of hitting breaking balls from Martinez. That was exactly the opposite. Hilson did foul tip the pitch, and that actually cost the Pioneers, as Santisteban was on second base at the time. And there's a fastball, and it is framed by Marcelo Sanchez for a strike. Looked to be off the plate, but if you're a catcher and you make a subtle move, sometimes you can get that call on the corner, and that's exactly what he did. So 0-2, Hilson trying to find a way to extend this inning against the lefty Marcos Martinez. First, a pickoff throw to first base, and Santisteban back in safely. Santisteban not really a threat to run. One of the few guys on his team that we can say that about. And here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Another pretty good breaking ball by Martinez, and that will do it here in the bottom of the fourth. So Martinez doing one better than Taylor Ahern so far. He's allowed no runs on 3 hits to Ahern's 1 run on 2 hits. 1 run on 2 hits. Run is singular. And at the end of 4 innings, once again, it is the Utica Brewers 1, the Elmira Pioneers 0. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network as God Bless America is about to be played here at historic Dunn Field. Hi everyone, and we are back as we begin the 5th inning from historic Dunn Field. And Taylor Ahern hoping to rebound from what transpired last inning as he allowed 1 run, and that was enough to give the Brewers the lead. As there's a rocket down the left field line, but it will be foul. As the designated hitter for the Brewers, Cody Lersch, gave that one quite a ride, but it did go foul. So for Taylor Ahern, that is simply a long strike. And the count now 0-1. You know, when you leave a fastball up, and not up enough that it's above the plane of the swing, you're asking for trouble. And there, Ahern with an excellent breaking ball, and there's strike 2. Interesting for Ahern, in his first outing, he's really very dependent on his curveball for strikes, but now here, really getting ahead with the fastball, and then mixing in the breaking ball once he's ahead. And there, 2 straight breaking balls after the long foul ball by Lersch, and that turns into a 3-pitch strikeout. What a turnaround by Taylor Ahern there. And now stepping up for the Brewers is going to be second baseman Neovel Ruiz-Diaz, coming up for his second at-bat. And Ahern is set, and he deals. And that one will miss just low. Not getting that pitch on the corner so far this game, so it's a 1-0 count. And that one is fouled away, make it 1-1 to the second baseman, Ruiz Diaz. If you're wondering about the two last names, in Spanish tradition, usually the first last name is that of the father's family, and the second, that of the mother's family. As the 1-1, that one's up high for ball 2. So Ruiz Diaz honoring both his mother and father, and certainly can't complain about that. And the pitch is a ground ball to third base, but it will be foul. Hilson fielding it in foul ground, and for a moment you wondered whether he was going to throw to first base, but he realized that he was on the wrong side of the foul line, and just flips it right back to Taylor Ahern. So it's going to be a 2-2 count as Ahern trying to put away Ruiz Diaz. And the pitch is up and away, so make it a 3-2 count. Ahern has had some issues with control all day, and hoping to avoid it here, but unable to, as that one misses outside to the ninth hitter, Ruiz Diaz, and he will reach here with one out in the top of the fifth. That is going to be his second walk of the season in a pretty small sample size. And the Brewers have turned their lineup over, as up to the plate is going to be the center fielder, Cedric Mullins. As Ahern seemed to be cruising along last inning, but then a pair of one-out base runners and the two-out single by Hayden Kelly, enough to give the Brewers the lead. First, there was a single by Cody Burden. Anthony Villa was hit by a pitch, and after Ahern able to retire Marcelo Sanchez, Kelly delivered. There goes the runner, and there's a hot shot to second base. Taylor Skirpon fields and throws to first. So by sending the runner, the Brewers will avoid the double play, as that was really a rocket. Once Skirpon was able to come up with it, he had really a decent amount of time, even with the speedy Mullins running. So the inning will continue, but that's still a big out for Taylor Ahern, as there are now 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. And stepping into the batter's box is Joe Daru. And here's the pitch. It catches the outside corner for a strike. Nice job by Ahern starting that pitch on the outside, even outside off the plate, and then bringing it back to just touch the outside corner. And as a hitter, there's nothing you can do with that. Really perfect placement. There's the pickoff play to second base, and it looked like they had a chance for a moment, but Nick Walker unable to come up with that ball. And luckily for him, gets dropped right next to the second base bag. So an unsuccessful pickoff play, and still a runner on second with 2 outs. We are in the top of the fifth inning. The Pioneers and Taylor Ahern trailing by a 1-0 score. Ahern set, and here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, and it misses low, so the count now 1-1. A lot more breaking balls by Ahern here in the third time through the batting order. And not always getting it right where he wants it to get it. And hasn't allowed a hit on it, but maybe a few too many that didn't really look like strikes and were not enough to entice hitters to swing. His best sequence was actually the first batter of this inning, Corey Lersch, where he delivered 2 straight curveballs to finish off a 3 straight pitches for the strikeout. As there's the ground ball back to Ahern, throws to first, and that'll do it here in the top of the fifth. The Brewers get a runner as far as second base, but strand him right there. And at the end of 4.5 from Historic Dunn Field, it is the Elmira Pioneers trailing the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and sorry for the late return, but I am back here in the bottom of the fifth. It's a 2-2 count to Joe Garana, still dealing with the lefty Marcos Martinez. And Garana potentially facing a tough matchup as he deals with the left-hander who does a lot of different things well. Can come at you with the fastball. He's shown a few good breaking pitches and does a nice job keeping the Pioneers off balance and off the scoreboard. So Garana awaits the 2-2 from Martinez. And that one is fouled away. Nice job spoiling a pitch right on the outside corner for Garana, coming off his freshman season at Old Dominion, where he's a teammate of Pioneers middle infielder Nick Walker. And the 2-2 changeup is a weak ground ball to third base. It is fielded and fired across by Anthony Villa. So there is one away here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Martinez has now gone 4 1/3 shutout frames. And he's really looked very good so far, about halfway to a complete game shutout, as he deals with Jordan Taylor. And Taylor, the catcher for the Pioneers, he's done a very good job against opposing base stealers, but still trying to figure it all out at the plate. He has 3 hits and 28 at-bats. And that's not a particularly good batting average, although he takes that pitch for a ball. So it's a head and count 1-0. Took a big swing earlier in this game, but all he had to show for it was a fly out to right center. There's a pop out to first base. So quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the fifth. The Pioneers still trailing 1-0 after a 4th inning RBI single by the first baseman for Utica, Hayden Kelly, as the Brewers trying to pull off a relatively big upset. They entered the game 2-15 against the Pioneers' 10-6 record, and if you're the Pioneers, you're facing a worse team, and these are the type of games that you want to come away with the win afterwards. Here's Skirpon. And there's a breaking ball, and like we've seen a little bit too often from Martinez, that one just does not have enough downward movement, and it stays up for a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is a better one, and he does count the outside corner, so make it a 1-1 count on Skirpon. Skirpon with the single and the steal of second base in his last at-bat. And the 1-1 pitch. And that will be outside for ball 2. So Skirpon ahead in the count again and trying to take advantage. And Marcos Martinez deals. And that one awfully close, but maybe missed just a bit low. As we've seen that call go against Taylor Ahern a few too many times this game, and the umpire at least being consistent as he calls it against Martinez. So 3-1 to Taylor Skirpon, and that one will be ball 4. Another very close pitch, but Skirpon takes it, and the umpire justifies his decision by awarding him first base. So a 2-out base runner by the Pioneers. They've gotten a base runner in every inning, but still have that 0 on the scoreboard, even though they have out-hit the Brewers 3-2. And here is Chris Kaluzdian as the Pioneers order comes back to the top again, and these are the guys you want to deliver. Kaluzdian, Dixon, Walker, Santisteban, and even Bellinger, your 5 best hitters right at the top, and you hope that they can come through. Pitch to Kaluzdian is lined hard and passed short for a base hit. Skirpon around second, he'll go to third, and looks like he actually beats it. Wow. If you look at that, and Skirpon hesitated rounding second base, and the left fielder, Joe Darr, came up with the ball, and He's throwing, and Skirpon was only halfway between the two bases, but not a particularly good throw by Daru. It bounces in there, and nice job by Skirpon, sliding away from the tag of third baseman Anthony Villa, and on a play where it almost looked like he was going to be gunned down for sure, he finds a way to make it to third base. So, for the Pioneers, their first batter to third base in this game after that gutsy base running decision by Taylor Skirpon. So, for Skirpon in this game, a stolen base and a gutsy decision on the base path. And the latter isn't recorded in the statute, but that's something that you remember. When you have a guy who's a strong base runner, it certainly helps you in the long term. And here's TJ Dixon. Runner on third, and Dixon hoping to drive him in for his 5th RBI of the year. And Dixon always a threat to bunt, even with 2 outs, and with his speed, he can certainly beat it out. Here's the first pitch to him, and that one is fouled away. Swinging away there, and fouling it right back. And Dixon, you may notice, is wearing number 6 after he began the season wearing number 1. For him, it was really just a matter of a jersey that was a little bit too small. Number 6 was available, and decided to switch to it. And maybe get a little bit more comfortable in his uniform, and you hope it makes him a little bit more comfortable in every facet of the game of baseball. Here's the 0-1 to Dixon, dealing with the lefty Marcos Martinez. There goes Kaluzdian, and there will not be a throw. Kaluzdian with a stolen base. That is number 6 for him on the year. And that was a case where the catcher, Marcelo Sanchez, saw the runner on third, Skirpon, taking a lead, ready to go home if that throw was made, and just maybe taking home plate and scoring that run. So decides to hold on to the ball, but there goes to Forrest at second base. So the 1-1 to TJ Dixon is fouled back. The count now 1-2. But here's the other side of that stolen base. Now Dixon is going to have a tougher time getting a base hit on a ground ball because the first baseman no longer has to hold Kaluzdi on at first base. He has more ground he can cover because now he can play behind the bag. So we'll have to see if that makes a difference here as Dixon behind the count 1-2 to the lefty Martinez. And the 1-2 is swung on and missed. And Martinez able to keep the Pioneers off the scoreboard once again. At the end of 5 innings, it is the Elmira Pioneers trailing the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. You're listening to the Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Inning number 6 set to begin, and up to the plate will be Cody Burden. Aaron's still on the mound and delivers the pitch, and it's a ground ball past Christian Santisteban and fielded by Taylor Skirpon, but he will not have a play. You can call that an infield single, even though Skirpon actually ended up on the right field grass. But another single for Burden, and the last time he was able to get aboard, that started the only real rally of this game for either team, as he came around to score on the RBI single by Hayden Kelly. And there's a strike. Ahern delivering the first pitch fastball to Anthony Villa. And all Ahern can do here is try to keep the deficit at 1 and give the Pioneers bats a few more chances to come alive. Ahern with the pickoff throw to first base, but Burden back easily. And he stole a base the last time he was aboard, so have to see if he goes again. But there's a lazy fly ball to right. Chris Calusi is there. He makes the catch, so there is out number 1. And Ahern able to rebound from the infield single by getting that weak, almost a pop out to right. And you look at that single by Burden, and it is indeed a base hit, but that might be a case where Christian Santisteban should have gone to that ball. There's a ground ball right between Santisteban and Skirpon. That Santisteban was right there, but decided to let that one go past him, as the pitch to Marcelo Sanchez is fouled back. And Burden might have had that base stolen, but Hugh will have to go back to first base. And a little bit of confusion there, as the base umpire didn't know whether that pitch was swung at and missed or fouled. And indeed, Burden returns to first base. The catcher Sanchez hoping to make something happen with Hayden Kelly on deck. And here's the... That will not be the 0-1. That will be a pickoff throw to first base. And just talking about that play a little bit more, Santisteban, it was right there, but he let it go by, and Skirpon was going to face a really tough play ranging all the ways to his left, and by the time he got to the ball, he was already in the outfield and had no play. And you almost wonder, could things have been different if the pitcher Ahern was hustling to first base to cover the bag, and then Santisteban doesn't have to worry about getting back to the first base bag himself? Instead, it's a single for Cody Burden and a what-if game for us, as we wonder whether Santisteban made the correct decision or the wrong one. Here's the 0-2, and swung on and missed a beautiful breaking ball by Taylor Ahern. And he gets a swing and miss from Sanchez for out number 2. So 2 outs, nobody on, but a big hitter coming up to the plate for these Utica Brewers in the RBI man Hayden Kelly. Kelly, really the best extra base hit here for the Brewers. It's not particularly close. He has 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs to go along with 13 runs batted in. That is a pop fly on the third base side. Taylor Hilson coming over and slides, but unable to make the play. So that'll just be a strike for Ahern. You'll take it. You wish you had the out, but what can you do? And you look at those extra base hits by Hayden Kelly. He has 5 doubles. No one else on the team has more than 2. He has 2 triples. The rest of the team has 2 combined. And he has 2 home runs. The rest of the team has only 5 combined, and no one else with more than 1. So really a dangerous hitter, as he hits a fly ball to left field. Ahern able to retire him this time, and that will do it here in the top of the 6th inning, with the Elmira Pioneers trailing the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back here in the bottom of inning number 6. Pioneers hoping to finally get on the board against Marcos Martinez and the Utica Brewers, as that pitch was maybe a breaking ball with no bite at all, and luckily for everyone involved, it stayed right over the middle of the plate, but well up in the zone and nowhere near Nick Walker. That one, a fastball moving towards Walker, but another great job by Marcelo Sanchez, selling that one as a strike on the inside corner. Here's the 1-1 to Walker. And that one is really a nice breaking ball by Martinez, but almost a little bit too good. Went right through the entire zone and ended up a little bit low, and Walker not enticed to swing. Here is the 2-1. Fouled away. And that's a case where Martinez is delivering a fastball, and he's not a really overpowering pitcher, but he keeps changing speeds and delivers a fastball, may have been in a hittable zone, but Walker not expecting it, and all he can do is foul it back. Here's the 2-2. And that time, the umpire will not call that one a strike. Really a similar spot to the previous one, maybe just a little bit lower, and that made all the difference. Baseball can really be a game of inches sometime, and it certainly was there. That one, a breaking ball, it gets past Marcelo Sanchez for ball 4. And when it gets past the catcher on a walk, if you're a hitter, you really want to be sprinting to first base and seeing if you have a chance to go to second base on a walk. That's already happened to the Pioneers once this season, as C.J. Dixon ended up on second base after a walk. And Pioneers fans, at least a couple of them, were saying, go, go, go. Walker not noticing until it was a little bit too late, and by then, the catcher had already come up with the ball. So, simply a walk for Nick Walker, how appropriate given his last name. And that's walk number 11 for him on the season, and that is tied for the team lead. Very good plate discipline for the second baseman, or middle infielder Walker. He's playing shortstop tonight, so can't call him the Pioneer second baseman anymore. And here's Santisteban. And that one will be a called strike, and Sanchez coming out of his zone, coming out of his crouch, I should say, ready to deliver the ball to second base on a stolen base attempt, or maybe the first base in an attempt to pick off the runner Walker. And here's the pitch to Santisteban, and that one will miss down and away, and the umpire, he flinched for just a moment. He thought about it, but decided to call it a ball. So the count now 1-1. Santisteban with a hard single to center in his last at-bat. Runner on first with nobody out here for the Pioneers. They've had a runner on in every inning, but also a strikeout in every inning by Martinez, as he has been able to walk out of every single jam. The Pioneers had their best threat in the last inning, as they had runners on first and third after a 2-out single by Chris Kaluzdian. But Martinez able to retire T.J. Dixon and keep his team in the lead. So Santisteban ahead to count 2-1 on the lefty Marcos Martinez. First, another one of those pick-off throws to first base, and it's the same thing every time. Martinez with the very quick step, but then those throws just don't have enough on them. And the runner able to get back in time, even though it always seems for a moment like Martinez can get him. There's a hard ground ball, but that one will go foul, so make it a 2-2 count in the lefty-lefty matchup between Marcos Martinez and Christian Santisteban. Pioneers hoping to make something happen, as they have Nick Walker at first base with nobody out here in the bottom of inning number 6. They trail the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. Pioneers out hitting the Brewers 4-3, but a couple of singles sandwiched around a hit batsman was enough for the Brewers to take the lead in the top of the fourth. Santisteban still in the batter's box. We've almost had every other pitch be a throw to first, so easy to forget that sometimes. But this should finally be the 2-2 to Christian Santisteban. And the pitch is another line drive to center, but right there is the center fielder Mullins, and he will make the catch. Walker quickly retreating back to first before Mullins had a chance to beat him there with his throw and complete the double play. And for Santisteban, he hit the ball hard again, but that one stayed up just a little bit too long, and Mullins, with his good speed, able to track it down. Here is Bellinger with the Pioneers now with a runner on first and one out. And Martinez facing another left-handed batter after getting Santisteban. And there's a strike. Maybe a little bit of a breaking ball there, and he's able to catch the corner. And Martinez, really a lot of good stuff with his fastball. That breaking ball has been up and down. Some of them really excellent break. They call them nose to toes when they really can destroy a hitter with their movement. That one gets away from the catcher. Nick Walker will get to second base without a throw, as the catcher Marcelo Sanchez didn't take all that long to come up with that ball, but by the time he did, Walker was almost all the way to second base. Great job of base running by Walker, ready to go in the case of any sort of mishandle by the catcher, and able to advance because of that. So now Bellinger has the runner in scoring position with only one out, hoping to deliver a base hit and tie this game up at the very least. Here's the 1-1. And that one will miss up and away. So Bellinger ahead in count 2-1 at this point. And Bellinger, after a little bit of a rough start in his third go-around with the Pioneers, has really looked very good since then, and has been a dependable presence in the fifth spot for the Pioneers. Let's see if he can continue that here. That one, a breaking ball, and not a good one by Martinez. Sometimes he'll have that sharp movement way down in the zone. Other times he'll just stay up there. And for Martinez, lucky that he's hanging it, but hanging it far enough away from these hitters that they can't hit them hard. That one is a fly ball to left center, playable for Daru, and he'll make the catch as Walker retreats back to second base. So Zach Bellinger unable to get the job done there as he flies out to left field. And the Pioneers still with a runner on second base, but now it will take a two-out hit from Taylor Hilson or an error of some kind for him to score. And Hilson does already have a hit in his game, the first hit for the Pioneers, and really the first hit in his game for either team back in the bottom of the second inning. And trying to follow that up here to knot this game at one run apiece. So here's the first pitch to Hilson, and there is a fly ball to left, and Daru is there once again. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the sixth. So six complete here from historic Dunfield, and it is the Utica Brewers 1, the Elmira Pioneers 0. You're listening to Robbie Knopf here on the Pioneers Broadcast Network. We'll be back. Hi everyone, and we are back here from Dunn Field, and we will finally have a pitching change for the Pioneers. Their first of the game here in the 7th inning after really an outstanding outing by Taylor Ahern. He went 6 innings, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits, striking out 5 while walking 2. He did also hit a batter, and really just that one tough sequence in the 4th, and that was it. He looked outstanding for the Pioneers, but Marcos Martinez has just been a little bit better so far. And now in the game is lefty Zach Biken. And Biken, you look at his overall numbers, and not all that impressive, but he's looked excellent after a rough first outing. And in Ahern's last game, he actually tossed 3 innings of shutout baseball. Here's a fly ball to the left, and the out is recorded by Joe Garana. Yeah, so in that last game started by Ahern, he retired 11 in a row to end his outing. Pioneers relief pitchers retired 10 more, and it was Biken in the game when the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs were able to end that streak on a double, but Biken able to get around that and retire the rest of the hitters he faced in the in the bottom of the 9th in that game, and then a perfect 10th and a perfect 11th to finish his outing with 10 straight batters retired. There is a breaking ball, and that will miss inside. The count now 1-1. So overall, that was a streak of 31 out of 33 batters retired for Pioneers pitching in that game. And there's a bullet down the left field line. Garana hoping to cut it off, and the runner will try to make it to second base, and he'll be out. What a job by Joe Garana. And that was really a rocket heading towards the corner, but Garana with an excellent job getting to it and then delivering the strong throw to second base to get the hitter, which was Corey Lersch. Lersch with the foul home run in his last at-bat. Made that one fair and hoped for an extra base hit, but Garana making sure that didn't happen as he delivers the strong throw after a great job cutting the ball off before it got to the wall. There's a pop fly, foul territory. Santisamon is there. He'll make the catch, so thanks to Joe Garana, Biken will face the minimum 3 in the top of the 7th inning. At the end of 6.5 here from historic Dunn Field, the Elmira Pioneers are still trailing the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back here from historic Dunn Field on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. And for the Utica Brewers, we will finally have a new pitcher, copying the Pioneers, in that their starter also went 6 innings, but Marcos Martinez just a little bit better than Taylor Ahern in this game. Allowed his share of base runners, but able to work around them as he pitched 6 innings of 4-hit shutout ball. The new pitcher for Utica has been a pitcher who can probably be called their relief ace, and that is right-handed Josh Garrett. Not a big guy at 5'10", 155, but The right-hander out of Pace University enters this game with a 1.46 ERA in 5 appearances, striking out 13 and 12 and a third innings pitched. And you think about that, 12 and a third innings pitched in 5 appearances. This is a guy who, if he's throwing the ball well, you might face him for an inning or two before we get to the Utica closer. Whoever that may be. The Utica actually does not have a save this season, so they might have a couple of options. For all we know, it could be Garin trying to finish this game if all goes well for Utica. Yeah, how about that? The Brewers still looking for their first save. They will certainly need one in this game if they're going to win, pending a lot more offense against Pioneers pitching. And for Garin, really an excellent season so far, but there is one reason for concern, and that is going to be his control. Garin with the aforementioned 13 strikeouts and 12 and a third, but also 9 walks. Not particularly close to a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio like you're looking for. So for the Pioneers hitters, the key will be to stay patient and not try to force anything against a pitcher in Garin who can be overpowering, but he can also really be his worst enemy on the mound. And stepping up to the plate for the Pioneers will be Joe Garana. Garana, who made an excellent play in the last inning. After the single by Larish, he did a great job getting to the ball in left field and delivered a strike to second base to get Larish trying to stretch it into a double. And now here he is, and he finally gets to face a right-hander after the lefty Marcos Martinez gave him so much trouble. And the first pitch is going to be a strike from Josh Garin, and we're underway here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Garana, the rising sophomore out of Old Dominion, and came to the Pioneers really with an excellent defensive reputation, maybe even a guy who could handle center field. For the Pioneers, they didn't really need that with T.J. Dixon manning center and even Chris Kalusian in right, but when you can have a possible center fielder playing left, that's really a huge asset for you defensively, and Garana showing exactly why right there. But here he trails Josh Garin in a count 1-2. That one will miss up and away, so to count now 2-2. Garin, once again, the rising junior out of Pace. He's originally from Old Tappan, New Jersey. And that one will be fouled away. So, a little bit of a battle here as Garana faces off against the right-hander Garin. And the Pioneers still trying to get on the board. They trail 1-0, and both teams have 4 hits, but it was really a matter of sequencing in this game. Utica able to get 3 base runners in 1 inning, while the Pioneers have spread them out 1, maybe 2 in a bunch of different frames, as Garin overpowers Joe Garana with the fastball, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Garana's rough day continues. He's 0-for-3. And now stepping up to the plate is Jordan Taylor. Righty-to-righty matchup this time, after Garin able to dispose of the lefty hitter Garana. And for Taylor, trying to get in the hit column today and deliver hit number 4 on the season. He does have 5 walks, though. Really, not a guy who's going to strike out all that often. 5 walks against 5 strikeouts, and maybe not a guy who can hit the ball with all that much authority, but when you can work good at bats, you're helping your team, you're helping the guy behind you see a few more pitches. And that one's fouled away. And for all we know, he could have more in the tank. In his first at-bat in this game, he really hit the ball very well to right center field, but it was able to be tracked down by center fielder Cedric Mullins. And here's the 1-1. It is a breaking ball, and that was definitely the right idea by Josh Garin. He started that breaking ball right at Jordan Taylor. Taylor, there was no chance he was going to swing at that. He thought it might hit him, but Garin trying to bring it back over the inside corner. as he blows the fastball right by Taylor for strike 2. But the prior pitch, Taylor had given up on it, and Guerin tried to get it to come back across the inside corner. Just misses, but it set up the last pitch after the big change of speeds from the fastball to the curveball. There's another fastball, and Taylor swings right through it. And there's out number 2 in the inning. Nice job by Guerin so far. And now, coming to the plate is arguably the offensive MVP of this game for the Pioneers. That's Taylor Skirpon. And he has a single, a stolen base, a walk, and he took first to third after he was on base 2 innings ago. And there's a strike. It was a situation where the left fielder Dario was getting to the ball, but Skirpon decided to challenge him and able to get in successfully. As that one misses away, the count now 1-1. And Guerin entered this game with a billing for control issues. He's been locked in so far. The Pioneers hoping to get something against them here with 2 outs. And Skirpon chases that pitch up in the zone. May have actually been a hanging breaking ball, but just too far away for Skirpon to have a chance at it. So he's behind the count 1-2, hoping to get on base once again. But unable to, as nasty pitch by Guerin forces a swing and miss. And we have 7 innings complete here from historic Dunn Field, with the Utica Brewers leading the Elmira Pioneers 1-0. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back once again on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network as the Pioneers trail 1-0 to the Utica Brewers. That score has held since the top of the 4th. Zach Bikin hoping to keep it that way as he delivers a strike to Cedric Mullins. Mullins has been pesky at the top of the order for these Brewers. He walked and stole second base in the top of the 1st, although Akron was able to strand him then. And the count now 1-1. The lefty Bikin is set, and he deals. That one will miss outside. Nope. They will actually get the strike call there. The umpire surprised me with that one, but Zach Bikin will certainly take it. 1 pitch away from putting Mullins away. And that was a breaking ball, and Mullins protecting the plate, but couldn't quite reach it as Bikin records a strikeout. That's strikeout number 6 for him on the season. And that comes across 8 innings pitched. So not really an overpowering guy, but he'll try to place his pitches well, and sometimes the results look exactly like that. Here is Joe Dario. And that one inside and off the glove of Jordan Taylor. So the count 1-0. Just waiting to confirm that from the scoreboard. That one, a 2-seam fastball, and that will miss to make it 2-0, as Daru gets ahead in the count, and the hitter not afraid to elongate his swing and try to hit for power, but there's a ground ball to short. Nick Walker will field it, but not before a bobble, and that will cost the Pioneers. That should be an error on the shortstop Walker. So a one-out base runner for the Utica Brewers. Second base runner allowed by Viken, although the last one was erased on a nice play by Garana. And this one, almost the opposite situation, as he's only there because of the error on Walker. And that one, the outside. They gave him a hit for now. We'll have to see how they scored at the end of the game. And all you really know there is that if Walker fields that cleanly, he has him. And there's a ground ball to second base. Skirban will take the out at first. So 2 away for Zach Viken and the Pioneers, but there is a runner in scoring position, so a little bit of a situation to navigate around nonetheless. And coming to the plate is the third hitter, coming to the plate is Anthony Villa, the third baseman. And that one, way inside, came awfully close to hitting Villa, but able to somehow get out of the way. Almost can't even figure out how that one didn't hit him, but somehow it did not. Here is the 1-0 from Viken. And that will be outside, and it'll be off the glove of Jordan Taylor, and off the run it goes to third base. So 90 feet closer goes a big potential insurance run for the Utica Brewers. Viken behind the count 2-0 with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. And there's a strike. Joe Daru first reaching on the error by the shortstop Walker, making it all the way to third. And that one will be up, so make it a 3-1 count from Viken to the third baseman Villa. And the pitch is hit hard but foul down the first baseline, so make it a 3-2 count and a payoff pitch coming. Runner on third probably not going because he should score on basically anything that isn't an out. As that one is fouled away, Viken coming with the breaking ball. Nice job by Villa, fouling it off to stay alive. And we'll do this whole thing all over again. 3-2 and 2 outs with the Pioneers down 1 and a runner on third. Another breaking ball fouled away. So Viken and Taylor sticking with the same strategy, hoping that Villa would be fooled by the same pitch a second time. Doesn't quite work out that way. But still 3-2. Pitch is actually swung and a miss for strike 3. Couldn't quite tell what happened there. Might have even been a pitch that hit Villa, but he went around and swung, and that's actually a rule in baseball. If you are hit by a pitch but swing at it, that is a strike. And the manager for the Utica Brewers, and that is Russell Jacob, he is pretty upset about that, but the hitter Villa rung up, and that will do it here in the top of the 8th. And after 7.5, here from historic Dunfield, is the Elmira Pioneers still trailing the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score on the Pioneers Broadcast Network. We'll take a quick break. Hi everyone, and we are back once again from Dunfield in Elmira, New York, as the hometown Pioneers still trying to get on the board against the Utica Brewers pitching staff. First, it was 6 innings of shutout ball by the left-hander Marcos Martinez, and then Josh Guerin, the righty reliever, with a strong bottom of the 7th. And there's a breaking ball and start Chris Kalusian, and it gets in there for a strike. Nice job by Guerin, really throwing off Kalusian, who must have been looking for a first pitch fastball. Here is the 0-1. Kalusian shows bunt and takes a tough strike on the outside corner. Nasty pitch by Guerin. You don't see nasty really labeled on a fastball too often, but they say that the best pitch in baseball is a well-placed fastball, and that one right on the corner, and the umpire gives Guerin the call to put Kalusian behind the count 0-2, and probably eliminates the bunt for Kalusian here. The pitch is swung and a miss for strike 3, and that was a little bit funny as the catcher Sanchez got out of his stance ready to throw to the third baseman via in the whole strikeout sequence before the umpire actually made the call. Sometimes the umpires don't like that very much, but in this case, it was really a pitch right down the middle, and Kalusian looking for something else and goes down looking. And there's a beautiful breaking ball by Guerin for strike 1. And Dixon behind in the count, hoping to start something for the Pioneers. It can change everything if you get his type of speed aboard. Here's the 0-1. And that one will miss outside to make it a 1-1 count. Dixon was hit by a pitch in the first inning and was later caught stealing to end the frame. Here's the pitch. And that one, a fastball just missing outside. Couple of pitches not particularly close by Guerin. And for the Pioneers, you're hoping that he loses his own a little bit after he has been locked in thus far. 2-1, breaking ball catching the corner, and that pitch has really been the bane of existence for the Pioneers, as they can't do anything with that pitch when he locates it that well. And here's the 2-2. Fastball, and that's a little bloop to shortstop. And it will be caught by John Jennings for out number 2. And Guerin really did Dixon a favor there by throwing him the fastball, but all Dixon could muster was a line drive, a sinking line drive to be exact, that was caught by Jennings just before it hit the ground for out number 2. And here's Nick Walker, hoping to start something for the Pioneers. They trail 1-0. And the pitch from Guerin. That one is fouled away, so make it an 0-1 count. And there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Pioneers running out of time as they trail the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. They've been held to 4 hits in this game, to 5 for the Brewers. And they've had base runners, they've had chances, but unable to come up with that big 2-out hit. And Walker hit by that offering. The second, nope, they'll actually hit off his bat. So, really a tough break for the Pioneers. That'll be strike 2. That one went up and in, but Walker really an involuntary motion that hit off his bat. So, 1 strike away from getting out of the inning is Josh Guerin. And the pitch will be outside, so make it a 1-2 count. And Guerin set, and Walker trying to extend his inning. And that one will be inside. He wants to say that it hit him. The umpire having no part of that. And the count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning with Walker at the plate. And that one is a sharp breaking ball that misses low. Make it a 3-2 count. A nice pitch by Guerin, but it's the type of pitch that you need to get the batter to swing at, and maybe broke a little bit too early, and Walker able to recognize it. Another breaking ball, and no chance on that one, as Walker goes down for strike 3. That curveball by Guerin has really fooled the Pioneers the last 2 innings, as they have been unable to muster anything against Josh Guerin. Looked for a moment like they might have a hit by pitch, but on 2 separate occasions, Walker was denied. First by the ball hitting his own bat, and the second by the umpire really ignoring his plea that the ball hit off his jersey. So after 8 complete innings here from historic Dunfield, it is the Utica Brewers 1, the Elmira Pioneers nothing, and you're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back from historic Dunfield, and we will have a pitching change for the Pioneers. Now on the mound is number 35, right-hander Blake Euler out of Kentucky. And Euler, really an interesting story. He spent his freshman year in 2013 at Pennsylvania University, but decided to transfer to Kentucky, and he didn't transfer because he had a scholarship in place. He transferred and walked onto the team and somehow managed to make it. That really says a lot about his ability as a pitcher, and we've really seen that all on display based on his performance thus far. He has now gone 7 innings, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits, and he has struck out 7 without walking a batter, really emerging as one of the Pioneers' more reliable relief pitchers. And he will hope to keep the Brewers off the board here in the top of the 9th and give the Pioneers a chance to come back in the bottom of the frame. Euler dealing with the catcher for Utica. That'll be Marcelo Sanchez. And that one is a fastball, and he just blew it right by him. There's strike 1. Euler with a fastball that can reach 92 or 93 miles per hour, so can overpower some of these hitters if you place it in the right spot like he did there. Another fastball, but that one will miss inside, so make it a 1-1 count against Sanchez. Sanchez has called a very good game as his pitchers still haven't allowed a run, and now hoping to add something at the plate as well, as he swings hard but fouls it right back, and Sanchez is visibly upset. He thought he had a chance and he missed it, and he motioned as if he was going to break his bat on his knee, but usually don't actually break the bat unless it's a strikeout or some other type of out. And he's still in the at-bat, and I guess he likes the at-bat enough to give it one more chance. Here's the pitch from Blake Euler. Slider, and that'll be taken low. So the count now 2-2. Euler dealing with the catcher Sanchez. And here is the 2-2 pitch. Now it's a rocket to left field, and that will drop in, likely for an extra base hit. Joe Garana gets to it, but no chance this time, as that one will be cut off by second baseman Taylor Skirpon. And look at how far Taylor Skirpon went on that one. At first, he was ready to receive a throw from second base, but when that wasn't possible, he sprinted all the way to the other side of the infield. He really ended up between shortstop Nick Walker and third baseman Taylor Hilson as they awaited the cutoff throw from Garana, and it was Skirpon who actually came up with that ball. So great hustle by Skirpon, and you never know. If he doesn't get there, maybe Hilson has some difficulty fielding the throw, and Sanchez might move up to third base. And we will have a pinch runner for the Brewers. They want this run badly, as they lead 1-0, and they're hoping for more. We'll have to see who that runner is when he turns his back, but if the statistics mean anything, that runner is going to be Marquise Webb. He's a hitter, hasn't not done much at the plate at all. Only 1 for 17, but he has stolen 4 bases in 4 attempts. And he has finally turned his back. Looks like he's number 27, and it is not. I did my best, but I was wrong. It is number 27, Reno Rankin. And Rankin, he's stolen only 1 base, but maybe capable of catching or capable of doing something that made the Brewers decide to put him in there. And look at that. He was just picked off. So you bring in the pinch runner, and immediately he's picked off second base. How about that? The Pioneers catching him napping, and it's weird to say that right after he entered the game, but that's exactly what happened. And Utica manager Russell Jacob is furious. The runner is still standing on second base. But he is indeed out, and that is a huge out for Blake Euler. You had the second baseman Skirpon just sneak over, and they pick the runner Rankin off second base for a huge out. Instead of a runner on second with nobody out, make it bases empty with 1 out. And that changes everything this inning. Could even be a momentum builder for these Pioneers, as Hayden Kelly steps up to the plate. And that one is fouled at home plate, making it an 0-1 count. Kelly is the difference in this game, as his RBI single in the 4th scored a run to give the Brewers the 1-0 lead they still hold, as that one is outside. On that first pitch, Kelly with a long swing, hoping to score a run for Utica anyway, but swings right through it. And after the pitch outside, Euler comes back with another strike, and we have a 1-2 count. Umpire signaling to the press box, making sure they have the scoreboard right. And here's the pitch from Euler. Breaking ball swung on and missed. So, second out of the inning, and really, that pickoff changed everything. Euler, with the help of Taylor Skirpon, getting out of his own jam with that runner on second base, and then the strikeout there. And great job by the Pioneers, just executing that pickoff play at second base perfectly, and that can really change an entire inning. Here is John Jennings, the shortstop, and he'll take a strike from Euler. And Euler made that big mistake to Sanchez, but doesn't pay for it thanks to the pickoff, and now he's about to toss a 9th inning where he faces the minimum 3, really quite similar to last frame when Joe Garana threw out the runner, and that was Lerge, who was trying to stretch from a single into a double. And that one, check swing, did he go? No, he did not. So Euler behind in the count, 2-1. We are in the top of the 9th inning from historic Dunfield, and the Elmira Pioneers trail the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. Brewers trying to add to their lead here in the top of the 9th, but we have a 2-1 count with 2 outs. Right-hander Blake Euler dealing with the shortstop John Jennings. Jennings out of Rutgers. And the pitch from Euler, and that'll be a strike on the inside corner, so the count is now 1-2. Excuse me, the count should be 2-2, I believe. The scoreboard has 1-2, unless I missed the pitch, which I very well could have, never know. In any event, there were 2 strikes, and Euler with the fastball 2-seam movement right at Jennings, and it stays on the inside corner for strike 3. And a great job by Euler getting out of that inning with the help of the pickoff. And when we get back, it will be the final chance for the Elmira Pioneers as Josh Garin goes for the first save of the season for the Utica Brewers. You are listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back from historic Dunn Field, and it all comes down to this. The Elmira Pioneers trailing the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score as we begin the bottom of the 9th inning, and coming to the mound for his 3rd inning of work is right-hander Josh Garin. The Utica Brewers do not yet have a save in the 2014 Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League season, and Garin, who has retired all 6 batters that he has faced in relief of Marcos Martinez, hoping to deliver the first, but it will be a tough test for him as he faces the middle of the Pioneers order, Christian Santisteban, Zach Bellinger, and Taylor Hilson, as the Pioneers hope for at least 1 run to continue this game. As there's a pop fly at third base side, over comes the third baseman, but Anthony Villa unable to make the catch as it lands in the picnic area for the Pioneers. And the count 0-1, Santisteban getting another chance. And the power to tie this game with 1 swing. And there's another hard swing, but another foul ball that was destined for the picnic area, but that time it actually hits off of the pole holding the lights, and it deflects back onto the field of play, but an 0-2 count. And there's a breaking ball. That one will miss 1 and 2. And for Garin, the key has been that slow breaking ball on the outside corner to lefties, on the inside corner to right-handed batters. That one will miss outside again, so Santisteban has worked the count from 0-2 to 2-2, hoping to get on base. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball that is grounded to second. It is fielded and fired across, and the Pioneers have 2 outs remaining to put something together as Ruiz Diaz threw the ball to Kelly at first. And here is Zach Bellinger, the local product out of Elmira Heights. And Bellinger has some punch in his bat, enters the game at 309 with a pair of home runs. And the Pioneers would love home run number 3 right now because that would tie this game. As Bellinger will take that pitch up for ball 1. And here is the 1-0. Misses outside, unable to catch the corner there. So Bellinger ahead in the count 2-0. And if you're the Pioneers designated hitter, you have to look for a pitch to drive here. And Garin comes back with the nice pitch on the outside corner. And all Bellinger can do is foul that one away. So count now 2-1 as Garin gets back into the count with that pitch. That one is a fastball right on the corner, and Bellinger not particularly happy with that call, but he'll have to take it. In the bottom of the 9th, we have a 2-2 count with 1 out. The Pioneers trailing the Utica Brewers by only a run. That one is drilled, but once again, well foul, landing in the picnic area. So the count remains 2-2. Bellinger hoping to put the tying run on base for these Elmira Pioneers. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball, and Garin unable to catch the corner there. He's executed that pitch so many times, but for once, that one stays too far away. So here's 3-2 with 1 out. And that one is fouled away by Bellinger. And could not quite see where that would end up, but certainly had a chance to be out of the stadium in foul territory. And here's the 3-2. There's a curveball inside, and that will be ball 4 for Zach Bellinger. He heads to first base. He runs to first base. He's excited about that walk. And here is Taylor Hilson. Bellinger, not a major threat to go, but if you don't pay attention to him, he can swipe a bag. He has 2 stolen bases without getting caught this season. And for Bellinger, just looking at the statistics, he only has 2 strikeouts all year. How about a power hitter who simply does not strike out? And that's the type of guy you want in a big situation. You know, if the pitcher gives him stuff over the plate, he will put the ball in play. And at the same time, enough discipline where if the pitcher tries to be a little bit too good and nibble at the corners, he's not going to chase a pitch outside the zone. Here is Taylor Hilson. And there's a strike. Hilson potentially an extra base hit away from tying this game up, or a ground ball in the wrong spot away from ending it. And here, first we have the pickoff throw to first base. Bellinger back in, maybe a little bit too close, but he was back, and that's what matters the most. And here's the 0-1, Garin to Hilson, or not. We have another pickoff throw to first base. Garin really giving Bellinger some careful attention there. And Taylor Hilson, he can hit the ball the other way, and he has a big hole to work with on the right side. That one a breaking ball, and it misses down, and it was not fielded cleanly. We have a new catcher for Utica. That is Xavier Baez. Well, that may even be Javier Baez. In any event, here's the 1-1 pitch. There goes Bellinger, and there's a bloop to right field, and it will be caught by the right fielder for the Utica Brewers, Cody Burden. And the Pioneers down to their final out. They sent Bellinger there, really very aggressive, but simply did not work out. And the last hope for the Pioneers is going to be, let's see, do we have a pinch hitter or anything here? Or yes, we're going to have Drew Fisher come to the plate, the left-handed hitter, facing off against righty Josh Garin. And just simply trying to find a way to keep this game going. The Pioneers do have the tying run at first base with 2 outs. And Fisher, he has had some big hits for the Pioneers this season. On opening night against Watertown, he had a 2-run single. And the Pioneers hoping for another big hit here. Here's the first pitch to Fisher. And that one will miss just outside. So Garin behind in the count 1-0. Bottom of the 9th here at historic Dunn Field, the Utica Brewers leading the Elmira Pioneers by a 1-0 score. And there's another throw to first to check on Bellinger by Garin, and Bellinger back in easily. Have to see if Bellinger goes again after, and he did go in the last at-bat. And the 1-0 will be a strike on the outside corner. Nice job by Garin placing that fastball. Count now 1-1. If you're the Pioneers, Fisher doesn't have an extra base hit this season, so you'd rather have Bellinger at second base, but do you really want to risk ending the game on a caught stealing by a player that really doesn't have that top-of-the-line speed? If TJ Dixon or Chris Kalustine is on, you absolutely go for it. But with Bellinger, it's definitely a gray area. The 1-1 is a ground ball to shortstop. It is fielded, and the throw to first is in time. And for the Utica Brewers, it is a combined 4-hit shutout of the Elmira Pioneers. The first 6 frames were tossed by lefty Marcos Martinez before Josh Gowan delivers the first save of the season for the Utica Brewers, and he really earned it. 3 innings of work, allowing only 1 base runner on the walk to Bellinger. And he will get Fisher on the ground out the shortstop to end it, as the Pioneers drop this one 1-0. And you look at Taylor Ahern, and he was just about as good as Marcos Martinez was for Utica. He went 6 innings, allowing only 1 run on 3 hits, striking out 5 while walking 2. And the difference in his game was a sequence in the 4th inning where the Utica Brewers got a hard single by Cody Burden. Anthony Villa was hit by a pitch, and after Marcelo Sanchez made out, it was the first baseman Hayden Kelly who delivered the huge single into right field to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead, and they never let it go between Martinez and Guerin doing the rest. We'll have totals in a moment here on the Pioneers Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, and we are back for one last time here from historic Dunn Field as tennis balls are on the field for the Chuckaball promotion, where you win a prize if you toss your tennis ball from the stands and manage to land it on home plate. No one has gone there yet. We'll have to see if somebody does. And looking at the broadcast, difficult to see the tennis balls anyway, so I'll have to tell you if somebody does. But in any event, for the Pioneers, they had no runs on 4 hits, while for the Utica Brewers, they won the game with 1 run on 6 hits. And both teams really had quite a few opportunities, but it was only the Brewers who could actually use all those base runners and make something happen with them. This was a game dominated by pitching, and when that is the case, it all comes to everything is going to be determined by who can seize an opportunity and push a run across when the pitchers are so dominant. And as it turns out, that team was the Brewers. They entered the game with just a 2-15 record versus the Pioneers' 10-6 mark, but they came away with a big win as they held the Pioneers' powerful offense to 4 hits and not a single run. So congratulations to the Brewers on the victory, while the Pioneers will have to get on track in their next contest. And looking ahead to future days for the Pioneers, tomorrow they will be on the road, and they will actually have a doubleheader against the Watertown Rams after the contest between the two teams on Wednesday night was rained out. And after that, they will be home against Albany on Saturday, and home once again against Watertown on Sunday. And just a quick look at the promotions for those games. On Saturday, it will be free Elmira Pioneers flags, courtesy of Jubilee Foods, while on Sunday, it will be free Party Time cowbell, so you get the chance to make some noise for your Pioneers. But in this one, the Pioneers unable to come away with the victory, as they fall 1-0 to the Utica Brewers thanks to the tremendous pitching of Marcos Martinez and Josh Guerin, who were just a little bit better than the combination for the Pioneers of first Taylor Ahern, then we saw Zach Biken, and then Blake Euler, but 1 run allowed. Really a great game by the pitching, but you need some hitting also if you're going to come away with a win, and the Pioneers not getting that in this one. So in any event, so long from historic Dunfield as the Elmira Pioneers lose to the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 score. And see you tomorrow as the first game of the doubleheader will begin at approximately 5:05 p.m. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of a pregame before that, so hope you can all tune in and listen to your hometown Elmira Pioneers. Once again, I'm Robbie Knopf, and thank you for listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Have a good night.